Well, hello, SNHU 107 and IDS 105 students. Welcome to your very first Learning Community webinar. I am so excited to officially welcome you to Southern New Hampshire University. SNHU is just so excited that you have chosen us to partner with you on your academic journey as you work to achieve your academic goals. Today's session is the PreTerm webinar for any students taking IDS 105 or SNHU 107. We're going to talk about your top 10 tips for success. First and foremost, your experience here in Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. What is this OAC team? I wanted to make sure that you understand the Online Accessibility Center, or the OAC as we call them here at SNHU, is a department here at the university that helps learners just like you get content in a way that works best for you and your learning style. If you have questions about this, want to know more, reach out directly to a member of the OAC team. A couple of webinar reminders. These webinar sessions are offered in both an on-demand, which is a pre-recorded version, and then we have a couple of live sessions from week to week throughout the term. Please know that the on-demand pre-recorded sessions are going to be ready for you guys to go and watch on every Monday of the new week of a module. If there's any live sessions scheduled, you will find that information in your SNHU University email. And a lot of your instructors or faculty will post those reminders in your classroom announcement spaces too. Please know that any of the live sessions are always also recorded. You can view them at your convenience. So these on-demand or pre-recorded webinars and any live sessions, if you can't make it, don't stress. Everything's recorded because we have special first-year experience YouTube pages for both SNHU 107 and IDS 105. And I'm going to talk more about that here in a minute. When we do have those live sessions, you don't need a microphone or camera. We just utilize the chat. Please keep in mind that our first-year experience YouTube pages, our places and communities, and SNHU Connect, your classroom spaces, those are all academic spaces. So always be mindful of your conduct. The biggest thing is with these webinars for you to know is that they are not graded. They are not graded, they are not required. But what these webinars do for both SNHU 107 and IDS 105 is walk you through how to do your assignments from week to week, like show you where to click, where to find things, or they go over concepts that you're working on your course just to help give you a little bit of extra support, okay? So who am I? Who is the voice behind all the webinars you're going to hear from week to week and watch from week to week? I am Melanie Shop. Hello, everybody. I teach both a section of SNHU 107 and IDS 105, so I'm an adjunct faculty member, but I also get the opportunity and privilege to work with all of your faculty and all of you students in the first year experience program. We call that the FYE program here at SNHU. I'm an academic partner, so I help work with your faculty. I work with some curriculum development, and then I work in the SNHU Connect learning communities for IDS 105 and SNHU 107. I always like for students to get to know us as human and a little bit behind the screen. So this is me. This is my family. I have two boys. They are currently 10 and 13 and growing before my eyes. My husband is a Harley Davidson enthusiast. We live just outside of usually sunny Pensacola, Florida. I absolutely love the water. It could be beach, pool, river, lake. I don't care. I'm a part-time mermaid. I'm an avid road cyclist. I love to read. So I tell students every term, if you have books that you love, any genre, please let me know. I've even had some published authors in my classes, or I've worked within the learning community. So please send me your stuff. I love to read books. I love coffee. I love spending time with my friends and family. But the biggest thing I want you to know is that I am part of the resource team here for you and your success at SNHU. So if you remember anything, it is to know that you have so much support for your success here at SNHU and you don't have to do things alone, okay? A lot of students are like, okay, what is this learning community? Like, why should I go to SNHU Connect and log in and find the IDS 105 or SNHU 107 learning community? Well, the learning community is outside your classroom. So like I mentioned, nothing's graded, nothing's required, but it is a space where you will find other students just like you that are taking the same classes, or maybe they've already taken that class, so they like to give tips and advice. And it's just a space for you to build these peer connections. Plus, every week, there's some kind of webinar, whether it's an on-demand pre-recorded or if it's a week that there's a live one. Those are all posted in there. The links are posted in there. Reminders are posted in the learning community. We also have these just-in-time focus videos for both IDS 105 and SNHU 107. These are videos that are loaded from week 1 through week 8, all ready for the term. They walk you through like how to find the discussion board, where to click, how to post it. They walk you through the different assignments. They're quick, couple of minute videos where the webinars tend to be a little bit longer, usually like 20, 30 minutes, just depending on what we're covering. And why do we put these learning communities together for you in these spaces? We put them together for your success. It's just an extra support system, an extra space that is there for you if you need a little bit of extra information, or you have some questions, or maybe you need a little bit of help on accountability or motivation. That is what the learning community is for. Again, remember, nothing's graded in these spaces, okay? But when you log into SNHU Connect, you can find the IDS 105 learning community or the SNHU 107 learning community right here. Here's the links. Now, I want to tell you that it can take like 7 to 10 days after you register for your SNHU classes for that SNHU Connect login to be created. So don't panic if you try to log in and you can't get in yet. It takes about 7 to 10 days after you register for your classes. And then once you get in there, up in the upper right-hand corner, you can search SNHU 107 or IDS 105 to find those specific learning communities, depending on which class you're taking. And you can also search clubs, organizations, student hobby groups. There's so much in there. We have like the paranormal club, we have the psychology club, we have business clubs, we have military organizations, we have parent organizations. There's just so much in there for you to connect with for your success. And I know in the beginning, you're like, whew, I'm just like thinking about classes. I'm not there yet. Well, start small. Start with the learning community for your classes, for your class that you registered for, either IDS 105 or SNHU 107, because it's really helpful, especially as you're getting back into adding school to your schedule and like navigating a new routine with college classes. Okay. So I wanted to introduce you to one of my amazing first year experience partners here. Dr. Winfield was unable to be with us today live, but he is one of our associate deans here at SNHU. He is our associate dean of first year experience and retention strategies. So some of you will see Dr. J, as his students like to call him, in your classrooms because he does teach a section of SNU 107 and he also teaches IDS 105. So if you have him as an instructor, he's such a wonderful human. I also like to share some fun facts about him. He is a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, and I know there's many of you out here too. He loves to cook. So if you have great recipes or recipes that you love, please share them with him because he absolutely loves to cook. He's a family man, and he's another resource for you here at SNHU. That's one of the things I love here about our university is that you have an incredible leadership team that is here to support your success, but also so accessible to you as a student. And Dr. J always likes to share his acronym for your success here at the university, which is PEN. So the Penman is our SNHU mascot, if you didn't know that. So Dr. J likes to think about our Penman and the excitement and the motivation that our mascot can bring and relate it to all of you as you're starting your journey here and as you continue your academic journey to persist, engage, and network. So the P in the pen is to persist. So to keep going day to day, week to week, class to class, right? Keep building, crossing those classes off your list to get to your end goal of graduating with that degree, right? Engage along the way. Get to know your classmates, get to know your faculty, get to know the SNHU departments. It just makes the experience so much better. And you can do that just one step at a time. And then network with each other, network with others that are in your classes. Get to know our career services team, even here earlier in your academic journey, because they have so many options for you to get involved and understand more about your career path or potential jobs that are out there. Or maybe you're not sure what direction you want to go yet. They're a great place to start, and they have a lot of cool things to really help you see the variety that's available to you as a student. One of the big things here that I want to just kind of stop and pause about is that I want to remind you that no matter where you have come from No matter what your academic journey has looked like before, some of you might be brand new to college education, like you've never taken a college class before. Some of you might have tried college before, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. Or maybe you finished a degree and now you're back getting a different degree, or you're changing your skill set. Whatever the reason is, we're so glad you're here. And I want you to remember that you are 100% worth this journey. Okay. Not all the days are going to be glitter and sunshine. There's going to be some thunderstorms thrown in there too. But just know that you are 100% worth this journey and that you got this. I want you to kind of utilize that as a mantra as you guide yourself from day to day, week to week, class to class, as you go on your academic journey. When things get hard, just take a deep breath and remember, like, I can do this. I got this. When things are going good, be like, heck yeah, I got this, right? So just remember, you got this. Now, I wanted to take a minute and go over both classrooms just really quickly, just to kind of give you an overview of your assignments and kind of what to expect, okay? So first, if you're taking SNHU 107, SNHU 107 has 5 discussions, 3 journals, 3 warm-ups, and a project. So your discussion assignments, no matter what class you're in, it could be any of your classes. I want you to remember Thursdays and Sundays. So if you have a discussion assignment, like week 1, you're going to have a discussion assignment. Your initial post, which is where you look at the discussion assignment, there's going to be a series of questions you have to answer. Your initial discussion post, that's your thoughts, that's your response to this, is going to be due by Thursday. During the very first week, it's Thursday East Coast time. So 11:59 p.m. East Coast time on Thursday, you have to have that discussion submitted, okay? And then you're responsible for responding to at least 2, minimum of 2, of your classmates. You have to do that by Sundays at 11:59 p.m. Can you do those earlier in the week? Of course you can. Do it as convenient for your schedule. But just remember that initial post has to be done by Thursdays and then follow up with at least 2 classmate responses by Sundays. Okay, Thursdays, Sundays. All right. Journal assignments. You're going to have a couple of journal assignments in your SNHU 107 class. The cool thing is you have a template for these assignments. That means there's a document that's already created that has a series of questions on it that you're going to open up and you're going to answer. It is so important, no matter what class you're taking here at SNHU, that you have Microsoft Word or something compatible. All right. You do get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. And I'll show you here in a little bit how to get that and how to find that and get that downloaded to your system. Okay. But for these journals, you're going to have a Word document template that you're going to pop open. You're going to type right in it. Okay. There's 5 of them. Journal assignments are always due by Sundays of the week that they're assigned, or you can work on them earlier as convenient for your schedule. Warm-ups, there's 3 of them in SNHU 107. Those are like an open book quiz. Okay, so don't let the word quiz scare you because it's open book. You can take it as many times as you need to earn your best score. And then those are always due by Sunday, the week they're assigned, or earlier as convenient for your schedule. Okay, and then all term long, as you work on those journal assignments and you work on those discussions, you're going to be centering in on some certain concepts and topics. You do have one final project in SNHU 107 that is kind of like connecting the dots at a culmination of all of the things that you've worked on all term that go into a final project. Again, it's a template assignment. We have an entire webinar that's dedicated to it, and you're going to work on pieces and parts of it, or at least be familiar with the concepts all term long. So when you get to the project, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is easy peasy. There's an example of the project in Module 7, and there's also a webinar that's dedicated to it. So all of these things together equal your SNHU 107 course at 1,000 points, which is super exciting. IDS 105, very similar, okay? You have 6 discussion assignments. So just like SNHU 107, any of the classes where you have a discussion assignment assigned, that initial post is always due by Thursdays, 11:59 p.m., and then a minimum of 2 peer responses are due by Sundays, okay? Remember that week 1, it's due by 11:59 p.m. East Coast time, okay? Then it goes to your time zone, all right? Another question I get from students often is like, what if I want to respond to more than 2 students? Can I do that? Of course you can. Just make sure that at least 2 of your classmate responses are substantial. What I mean by this is you don't want to just reply to one of your peers and be like, awesome, I'm from here too, and I like this, and it's only like 2 sentences. That's not going to cut it. You have to write more than a couple of sentences when you do those peer responses. But if you want to respond to more than 2 of your classmates, go for it. That's awesome. IDS 105 does have 2 journal assignments. Your journal assignments are a little bit different. You don't have a template. They're kind of more open up a Word document and answer the questions and type in the format that you want. And then you have one warm-up. So again, those are like an open book quiz. You can take it as many times as you need to. However, you have 4 project drafts in IDS 105. Those project drafts have a template. So you're going to open up this project template. There is going to be a scenario document. You're going to pick a scenario. There's a personal scenario, a workplace scenario, a school scenario, and then a create your own scenario. You'll understand that once you get into the class. We have a whole webinar dedicated to it. But you are going to pick a scenario and you're going to be answering questions based off of the concepts you're learning in the classroom for those modules assigned and your scenario to answer these questions on these 4 project drafts, okay? And then your final project is basically cleaning up and editing and adding to or whatever you might need to do based off your instructor feedback, those project drafts, and you're going to submit a final project. So you're already working on it all term long. So don't let that stress you out because you're going to be working on that project all term long. So when it comes to week 7, when the project is due, you already have it done. You're just going to be cleaning it up and editing it. Okay, so that is your SNHU 107 course overview and your IDS 105 course. Now I want to run you through a couple of tips for your success, and then I'm going to quickly show you the e-classroom space. So you kind of get an idea of where to click and how to find things. But please know that there is a Module 1 webinar, one for IDS 105 and one for SNHU 107 that's going to walk you through everything you need to know for week 1. But this will give you a good head start, okay? So tip number 1 is to prioritize your time. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to think about when you're going to do your homework, when you're going to do your readings, when you're going to work on your assignments. I know that you're taking classes online because it's convenient for your schedule. However, I encourage you to set aside some time whenever works best for you. You know, sometimes students like to work on homework before everybody in their household is up or after everybody in their household goes to bed, or maybe you're going to work on it during like your lunch hours or kind of in the nooks and crannies of your day. Whatever it is, just kind of set aside some time because if you plan ahead, it helps you really kind of create a schedule for your success and you can kind of edit it, be flexible with yourself as you need to. But if you set aside that time, it helps you dedicate those moments to be able to get your homework done. The other advice I give students is if you can work a little bit earlier in the week, if that works for your schedule, like if you can submit it, try to have assignments submitted like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then finish up peer responses like Thursday, Friday, it gives you that weekend or gives you some flexibility should your week kind of fall apart. Okay, so just remember, prioritize your time, make plans for your success. Tip number 2 is to make connections. You all have already heard me say, like, get to know your classmates, get to know our university departments, get to know your faculty. It just makes the experience so much more impactful. Tip number 3 is about your electronic textbooks. So both SNHU 107 and IDS 105 both have electronic textbooks. So you want to purchase these course materials and get connected. The easiest way to find out all about your textbooks is you can go into your classroom spaces. So log into your IDS 105 class or log into your SNHU 107 class and click on the Start Here area, and you're going to see what book you need. But if you go to your classroom space at the top, there's going to be a little help. Click on the little down arrow and go to Online Student Services. And it opens up the menu of all the different departments here at SNHU. And there's SNHU Bookstore right front and center. Click on SNHU Bookstore. You're going to put in your course code. So for example, you would put in IDS 105 or SNHU 107. You're going to put that you're taking it as an online student and the term you're taking it. And it's going to pull up your course materials and you add it to cart just like you were checking out on Amazon. And then you check out. The key is once you purchase those electronic textbooks, you do need to connect it. So there's instructions for how to set up your VitalSource account, how to get things connected. There's an email that's going to come to your university email account, or you can also check that Start Here area of your classroom space. The biggest reminders I have for y'all is if you get stuck on getting your textbooks purchased or connected, reach out to your advisor, okay? But don't forget, always be checking your SNHU email. That is how the university communicates with you. So make sure you're checking that every day, if not a couple times a week. And also make sure that you're checking those course announcement spaces because your faculty put a lot of helpful information in there. Okay. So again, with those electronic textbooks, you will get an email. This is an example of an email that you might have already seen that says like, click here to order your books. It's going to walk you through the process, but you will get an email after you purchase them that give you steps on how to get them connected. But again, if you're stuck, if it's too much, if it's overwhelming, you don't think you did it right, get with your advisor, your SNHU advisor, because they can help you get everything connected for your success. Now, I always get a question because sometimes in the university bookstore, you might see a loose leaf or a paper version of your textbook. This is more for SNHU 107. I don't think I've ever seen it for IDS 105. But if you're somebody that likes to hold the book, highlight the book, touch the book, smell the book, and that option is there for that loose leaf paper version, you're more than welcome to order it. It's very similar to the electronic version. Sometimes there's a couple of page numbers that are different. I think it's like one chapter. Sometimes it can look a little bit different, but overall it's pretty much the same book. But I will tell you, I have some students that get both and they don't even end up opening the hard copy version or the paper version. They just use the electronic version because they just get used to it. But just know if you see that and that's you in your wheelhouse, that's fine. But it's not always there. So if you're looking for a loose leaf paper version versus an electronic textbook, just know sometimes there's not an option for that and everything's electronic. But most of your classroom books are electronic, so it's a nice way to get used to it for your success. Okay. Tip number 4 is to have that backup plan. Y'all, I cannot tell you that you will not be the first student that has like you get sick or like somebody in your household gets sick or baby comes early, baby comes late, work schedules change. There's overtime situations. We have like internet go out, laptops break, phones break. I mean, everything has happened, right? So just know it's so important for you to have a backup plan. So I encourage you to write down every term, your advisor's phone number and email address, and any of your faculty or instructors' phone numbers and email addresses. Okay. I say that because if something comes up where like you can't get your assignment and maybe your week fell apart, like life was lifing, we would rather you reach out to us and let us know so we can work with you in some points or rather than no points than just for you to like fall off the face of the earth. Okay. There has been times where natural disasters have struck, hurricanes, snowstorms, power goes out, and somebody can't get their assignments in. I mean, things come up. So if you have a phone number or you can't get into your computer or emails down or something weird, if you have people's phone numbers and email addresses, you can make a plan for your success. Okay. The other thing is that if like your Wi-Fi goes out or internet goes out, like get creative. Local libraries are a major gem. They always have free Wi-Fi. Most restaurants, coffee shops, even McDonald's have free Wi-Fi. So you can always log onto those or use your phone as a hotspot if you have a smartphone. If like your computer or like your laptop or tablet, whatever you might be using for your classes, if that breaks, kind of think about your backup system. Like, can you like go to a friend or family member's house and like utilize their computer to like get your assignments turned in? Things come up and we know that, but like have those backup plans in place and always have your instructor and advisor's phone numbers and email addresses so you can let us know. I cannot repeat this enough. If you let us know what's going on, like if something has come up, you're going to not be able to get your assignment in on time or you're trying to catch up or whatever's going on, when we know, we can make a plan to keep you on track or get you back on track for your success. Okay. Which brings me to tip number 5, knowing what and who is on that to-do list. Okay. Be aware of what is happening in your life. You have a lot of competing priorities. You're going to have life inside the classroom, life outside the classroom. You could be working while you're going to school, either inside or outside the home. You might be taking care of loved ones in your household. There's a lot going on. And so you need to know what is due from day to day, week to week, month to month for your success so you don't feel overwhelmed. Tip number 6, I've already talked about this a little bit. Communication is key. Every single university department has a phone number and an email address. Okay. You can reach out. If you're nervous to pick up the phone and call a department, send them an email. You can also always loop in your advisor and they can help you navigate some of those communications if you need to reach out to your instructor or you're not sure on something. Check your My Instructor announcement in all of your classrooms. It'll tell you your instructors, like if they have office hours, it'll tell you how to get a hold of them. It'll tell you like when is the best time to get a hold of them. Some instructors even use like Microsoft Teams for like online chats. Some of them even FaceTime or Google Hangout. There's phone numbers, email addresses. There's just so many ways to support your success here at the university. Okay. Tip number 7 is to watch the webinars. So like I said, both SNHU 107 and IDS 105 have weekly webinars. So when they are pre-recorded or the on-demand webinars, they are loaded bright and early for you every Monday of the new module. So like when you go to start week 1, module 1, that Monday, it's loaded and ready for you on these pages. Okay. Whenever there's a live session, as soon as the live session is done, usually within a couple of hours, it's loaded up on the page. So you can just go back and look for the week that you want to watch. Okay. The focus videos for IDS 105 and STU 107 are already loaded for the entire term if you want to take a peek at those. And then the webinars, you're going to see this will be loaded here once this is downloaded and put in that space. And then every single week you're going to see them. The other question I get a lot of times with students is like, is there a certain time that I have to like log in week 1 or like be somewhere? No, there isn't. However, you want to make sure that your assignments are submitted by the due dates and deadlines. So like I said, for week 1, if you have a discussion assignment, that initial discussion post is due Thursday. Minimum of 2 classmate responses are by Sunday or earlier for your schedule. Any other assignments, warm-ups, journals, project drafts, whatever it might be, those are always due on Sundays. Okay, so just kind of put those days in your calendar. Tip number 8 is to know your success team. Okay, know who is going to support you genuinely on this journey. Maybe it's somebody that's going to help you with like doing household stuff while you're doing homework, or taking care of loved ones while you're doing homework and doing class stuff. Maybe it's somebody that's going to like help you look over your academic writing, your papers, your projects, or just cheer you on and give you a smile and a high five. Whoever they are, know who they are, keep them close, because it's so important to have that support along the way. Tip number 9 is to use your feedback. So this is a big one. Your instructors work really hard on grading your assignments from week to week. But I want to point out that like week 1, whatever assignments you have, if you have a discussion post, remember due Thursday, and then peer responses by Sunday, and then any other assignments due by Sunday, right? So you start class on module 1 on Monday, and then it ends that next Sunday. Okay, your faculty then have from that Sunday to the next Sunday, so basically the Sunday of module 2, to grade your work. So some faculty grade as things come in, some faculty grade throughout the week, some you might not see your grades until Sunday night. So that's okay. If you ever have questions like, hey, did I turn this in okay? Or did you see this? You can always email your instructor. But I just wanted to point out, because a lot of times students are like, wait, I submitted my discussion and I haven't seen a grade yet. Well, they have a lot of time to grade it. They have like that 7 days from that Sunday date. So just know that they're going to be working on it. But if you ever have a question about it, you're not sure, just reach out to them. But it's so important that once your faculty member has graded something for you, that you go in and look at what they had to say. Because a lot of times they'll point out like what you did good, or maybe some ideas for changes or resources for your success. So make sure that you're utilizing that feedback, okay? The other thing is, if you have any of those like warm-ups, those grade automatically. So you can see your score right away to determine if you want to try to take it again to add more points, okay? Tip number 10, use your resources. This is kind of just a list of the departments here at SNHU. There is drop-in tutoring if you're stuck on stuff. You can find that underneath the academic support team menu. Written feedback is underneath the academic support team menu. So if you're somebody that's been out of school for a while, or you're just worried about your academic writing, it's been a minute since you've written from a collegiate standpoint, the written feedback is where you can actually write up a rough draft, anything that's an SNHU assignment, and you can submit it to the academic support team and kind of fill out this little form that shares like what you want them to look over. And then a tutor looks over your work and gives you suggestions within 12 hours. I mean, it's really pretty cool. I would utilize it. Students every term when they use it are like, why was I not doing this the whole time? So let's start from the beginning of the term. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. You always have the learning community webinars. We have an amazing SNHU career team. We have your academic advisors, are wonderful humans to help you get connected with things that you might need, or run through stuff, or be an accountability partner. You have the SNHU library. SNHU Connect is where you can find the learning communities. It's also where you can find clubs and organizations. And then we have the SNHU wellness team, which is an awesome resource to explore too. And then outside the classroom, you have those loved ones, you have those friends, the family members, you might have coworkers, you might have a mentor, those pets, they count. And then you know, none of it matters if you're not making the time and putting those connections in place to help support your success, okay? As a reminder, for those learning communities and the clubs and organizations that are in SNHU Connect, it can take up to 7 to 10 days for your login to be active to get into SNHU Connect. Nothing's graded in there, so don't stress about it if you can't get in there. But it will come in as soon as your login is active, those 7 to 10 days. Okay. So what I wanted to do really quick is I wanted to walk you through classroom spaces. So I'm going to walk through IDS 105 just real quick first. No matter what class you're taking, it's a very similar layout. Okay. It's the same layout. Across the top up here, like I mentioned, you have that academic support team. I wanted to point this out really quick because if you click on academic support, it pulls up their menu of services. You'll see there's the tutoring, they have workshops, there's also like some questions, there's peer tutoring, which is kind of a more one-on-one if you might need that. But this written feedback, this is where you can upload and submit those drafts and assignments for written feedback. So you can upload your rough draft, you select the most important area you want your tutor to focus on, and then it gives feedback within 12 hours. So it's such a great resource to use. And I always like to point that resource out because I think it's really important for you to know how to access it, okay? The other thing I wanted to point out is underneath this help, click that little arrow. If you click on these student tutorial videos, this opens up a YouTube page that shows you quick videos on how to navigate Brightspace. So discussion boards, how to find your feedback and grades, a My SNHU overview, how to find like your assignment instructions and submit things. It's all right here. So that's a really cool space that I wanted to make sure I showed you. Again, help, student tutorial videos. Quick access to the help desk in case you need them. But this online support services, if you click on that, it pulls up all the different teams and departments here at SNHU. So like I said, you have quick access to the bookstore, quick access to advisors. Here's another way to get to academic support. My SNHU orientation is a great virtual tour of my SNU and learning how to navigate the community and the spaces here for you at the university. This is that Office 365 and other software. So this, if you click on this, follow the prompts and the directions, and that is how you can get Office 365 for free, which is like Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, it's for free, which I would utilize that. If you keep scrolling down, you have that online accessibility center. Here's SNHU Connect. You can click on that. It'll take you into SNHU Connect. You can log in and then find the learning communities or clubs or organizations. And then you have the career team and SNHU Wellness. Okay, I just wanted to point those out really quick. So IDS 105, just real quick navigation. And this again is very similar in every single class you take. Course menu. One of the things I wanted to point out is you can always find quick classroom announcements by going to announcements. Learning modules, we're going to see all your modules. So module 1 is week 1, module 2 is week 2, module 3 is week 3, and so on all the way through week 8. Discussions is just a quick link to get you to the discussions. Here's where you can find a list of your assignments. If you click on grades, it'll pull up all of your graded assignments. And then once they're graded, you can see how you did and like view the rubric for the information. Okay, let's click on learning modules here really quick, because what I wanted to show you is this Start Here area. If you click on Start Here, you're going to see that there's an IDS 105 syllabus for you to review. That's going to give you kind of the policies of your class, an overview of your assignments. There's a little helpful video for you to watch. Right here is vital source information, like how to connect and get your book all situated, how to use the app, all that kind of fun stuff is on there. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I pointed that out. Like I said, we have an entire webinar dedicated to module 1. But what I wanted to show you is if you click on the module, no matter what class you're in, you're going to see this like everything's kind of laid out. You're going to see a lot of blue. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. So click on the introduction, and it's going to open up an overview of your module. So you'll see there's a lot of scrolling. Scroll all the way down after you review it, and then arrow over. One of the things I want to point out, especially for IDS 105, but this is true for SNU 107 too, is there's a lot of content, a lot of reading content within the actual module itself. So IDS 105 students, when you review your readings for your assigned chapter, do not forget about what's actually in the module. You'll see there's a lot of reading right here. So you're going to be scrolling down and clicking over. And you will get to a space that says resources, and that is where you'll see any assigned textbook reading. You might see some helpful videos for you to watch or a website for you to link to. Those are always wonderful resources. There's even always some additional support things, which are always awesome to watch. And then you can kind of just click and scroll through, okay? One of the things I wanted to show you too is if you're scrolling through your module, it'll always bring you to the different assignments. So like, for example, for discussions, you'll see the discussion assignment. So you're going to see for your initial post, and here's the questions that you're answering. So keep in mind, answer all pieces and parts, okay? And then you'll respond to any of your classmates. What I wanted to show you is if you are starting a new thread, like posting your initial discussion post, you want to click on the blue, start a new thread, you can enter the subject line like Melanie intro or whatever you want to say, or hello class, you can say anything you want, as long as it's relevant and appropriate, right? And then you type right in here. Top tip, a lot of students like to type up their discussion post in like Microsoft Word, and they spell check it, grammar check it there, and then they copy and paste it into here, into the text box that way, and they save that document and submit this. That way, if there's any kind of a technical snafu, they have a backup and they don't have to start over. But I wanted to show you, you can attach like pictures and stuff using this little insert stuff button. There's little pictures here too. But if you click subscribe to thread, when you do that, it'll alert you with a notification if somebody's like responded to your post. So once you put all your information in there that you wanted to say, you just click on post. Okay. So I wanted to just guide you through that just really fast, as far as like where to click and how to find the discussion. Remember, click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. Okay. Again, we have a whole webinar dedicated to module 1, so I'm not going to go through all the things. I just want to kind of show you the little top pieces. Now, SNU 107, very similar. So I taught SNU 107 this last term. So this is actually my old classroom. space, so ignore all the dates. But I wanted to show you, like when you log into your classroom space, no matter what class it is, y'all, IDS 105, SNHU 107, or other classes you might be taking, you will see this My Instructor, like who your instructor is, and it'll always have their email address. But also you'll notice there's these announcements that are going to show up. So you can always click on them, review them. I encourage you to always be checking your announcements. Your instructors put so much work into them, and they give you a lot of details and reminders and support and help on assignments. So don't miss those. Also, do not forget to check your university email. Okay. Again, here, you'll notice same menu at the top, academic supports right here. There's the help icon. You can click on those student tutorial videos that kind of show you how to navigate everything in Brightspace. Online student services gets you to all the different SNHU departments. Course menu, again, quick link to discussions, assignments, grades, learning modules. When you click on learning modules, y'all, just a reminder, click on start here. So SNHU 107, you're going to see your syllabus information. You're going to see the bookstore information. You're going to see all of that kind of stuff right there for you. Remember, module 1 is week 1, right? Module 2 is week 2. So again, for you, here's module 1. You're going to click on that introduction. It's going to give you that overview, review it, scroll down, click over. And then it's going to go into any of your required resources, videos you want to watch, textbook chapter or chapters that you want to review, additional support shall you need it. There's a lot of good stuff to click through. Click over. Just a reminder too, same thing with discussions. You're going to notice right here, here's what you guys are doing for initial post week 1. You'll be able to see same thing, start a new thread. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of point out like the navigational way that everything kind of works. It's going to be the same. So remember, for week 1, module 1, you don't have to log in at any certain time. Okay. But you want to make sure that if you have a discussion assignment, that initial discussion post is submitted by Thursday or before of week 1. And then your classmate responses minimum of 2 are due by Sunday or before as convenient for your schedule. Any other assignments, project drafts, journals, warm-ups, those are always due by Sunday of that week that they're assigned. Can you work ahead on those things? Of course you can. Remember also too, that you don't want to do anything in your classroom space until start day. Okay. If you got excited and you got in there and you started doing stuff and submitted it, like don't stress. You're not going to have to redo anything. It's just that you're not going to hear from your instructor until classes start. Okay. So y'all, that's it. So we did a quick run through of the top 10 tips for your success. We walked through your classroom spaces just a little bit to get you situated and started. We are just so excited for you here at SNHU. So just remember, you are going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to start classes here before you know it. Get ready, map out that SNHU time, have the most wonderful rest of your week. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to find me in the SNHU 107 or IDS 105 learning communities. You got this.